welcome back to Suryadev QST Rebar's Property Matters. We will be taking a look at different materials that are absolutely essential to the building industry. Today we begin with the all-important, super ductile, almost everlasting metal, steel. This metal is required at every stage in the construction of a building, right from foundation to roofing. Here at Suryadev's manufacturing unit in New Gummidipoondi, we take a look at the conversion of this metal from virgin steel to finished bars. Steel forms the core of the construction industry as it is used in the very foundation, and also every bit of concrete is wrapped around steel bars to form the basic skeletal structure of a building. This metal is an alloy comprising mostly iron with varying carbon content. Though steel was produced long before the 14th century, mass production and the wide use of steel only started in the middle of the 19th century with industrialization in England and Europe. Today, steel is indispensable in almost all aspects of life, and more particularly in the construction industry.
In building industry, the steel is used in different ways. Especially when you take building, it's used with the concrete for concreting. Steel rods are used for slabs and beams and columns and etc. etc. And different forms of steel, for example, C-section, I-sections are used for making trusses for factory buildings, and huge steel rods are used for bridges and canals and etc. etc. And then even the same sections are used in a pre-engineered form for huge structures, for hangars and for airports and for a huge space span. This has been extensively used for. Then we can say again we can go the factory buildings. Even so sometimes roofing is done with the metal.
Here at Suryadev's manufacturing unit in New Gummidipoondi, we took a look at the conversion of this metal from virgin steel to finished bars.
To start with, melting takes place in electric induction furnaces, where the molten metal is again taken in ladle, taken for continuously casting machine, where it is cast down to different size of billets. These billets are again taken for reheating in a billet reheating furnace. It is where it is raised, the temperature is raised up to about 1150 degrees centigrade for plastic deformation. Then the process starts. After it is taken out of the furnace, and then the actual rolling process starts, where these billets are reduced to smaller size, stage by stage. We use about 23 stages to reduce the billets for reinforcement bar making. There the temperature is brought down. We strictly follow the temperature of steel so that the quality is maintained. And at the end, we have a quenching process which is called thermax to introduce a thermomechanical treatment of the process, which gives an inherent property of strength and resistant to corrosion and all for the finished product.
Suryadev is one of the largest producers of steel in the south, and this unit has the capacity to produce 25,000 tons of steel per month. Once shaped into reinforcement bars of different dimensions, they are sent off to different locations where they will form the framework of the structure under construction. We followed a supply trail from New Gummidipoondi to Taramani, where S&S is constructing a new block. Here the steel bars are cut and bent to required shape and form. The bending and cutting of steel on site is a process that requires much manpower, time, and also causes a high percentage of metal wastage. A new phenomenon in the construction industry is ready-made steel, or RMS, where the reinforcement bars are cut, bent and delivered to site according to specified needs. The GKS Group launched RMS in Chennai in 2008, and this new improved version of steel is catching on.
Ready-made steel factory, you will see basically three different kinds of machineries. One is stirrup benders. Stirrup benders will do thousands of stirrups per shift of any diameter, any dimension and any rod diameter you want. And these stirrup benders are programmed to do out of coils In India, we are able to get coils even up to 2 metric tons. And the best part of it is that there will be zero wastage when we handle coils for making stirrups. And in India, you are now getting diameters of 8, 10 and 12 in the form of coils. So, as far as these diameters, there will be zero wastage whatsoever by using RMS facility. Now, what happens in for diameters more than 16 and up to 32 or 40 mm, we have a shear line, which is a auto shear line, which is basically having a hydraulic shear, and it can cut multiple rods at a time. The machine what you see now is having a capacity to cut 32 dia rods, 8 numbers at a time. In one stroke we can cut 8 rods of 32 dia. If it is smaller diameters, you can cut many more rods. After the cutting happens, it is been on a conveyor. We transfer the material to a bending station, which is again an auto bending station, which has been programmed to bend the rods as desired by the designer.
According to Mr. Hari Prasad, RMS has the following advantages: less wastage as the exact number and correct dimensions are produced, less inventory costs, less dependence on manpower, better quality bars, and less time for production. According to Mr. Hari Prasad, it is anticipated that the demand for steel in Chennai will rise to around 8,000 to 1 lakh tons per year. To meet the increasing needs of the building industry, it is expected that many more such steel plants will come up and expand. So that just goes to prove the versatility of steel. That's all the realty news we have for you today. If you wish to feature your home on the show, or if you have any queries on interiors and properties, do write into us at feedback@ndtv-hindu.com. We'll be back again same time next week with all things realty. Until then, goodbye.